Kainat. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
So good. I'm so sorry that it took a little bit, but now you're here.
Yes.
Kainat, what are you? Are you going to be more comfortable talking in English or be talking Urdu? What are you more comfortable with?
It depends on your audience, and I'm fine with both actually.
चलो हम दोनों में बात
ठीक
करेंगे.
है. ठीक है.
Whatever language you're more comfortable in. Urdu में बताना है तो उर्दू में बता दो, English में बताना है तो English में बता दो. Tell us, छोटा सा, like a version of your story to anybody who doesn't know your story, where you come from, and how you made it to where you are.
So Assalamu alaikum to everyone out there. My name is Kainat Ansari, and I'm actually TCF alumni. So I grew up in Karachi, Pakistan, and I grew up in one of the biggest slums of Karachi. It's called Orangi Town. And then I went to TCF. So the story of getting into TCF is kind of like, I will tell it later, but I did my metric from TCF in 2017 actually. Wow, it's a long time ago.
Wow.
In 2017. And then after that, I went to Norway for my high school. So I was given a scholarship to study there. And then I came to States in 2019. So I'm actually graduating next month. So I just did my bachelor's in experimental psychology. And I did some study abroad program in UK. So I went to University of Oxford for 2 semesters. So yeah, and my family is still in Orangi Town, and my siblings also still go to TCF and everything, and my cousins still go to TCF. So this is a little bit of my background.
मेरे तो रोंगटे खड़े हो गए just listening to how far you've come. You did your metric in 2017. Then you went to Norway. And then you're graduating next month. Oh my God. Okay, so what is the plan after graduation? What do you want to do?
So because I did my bachelor's in experimental psychology, and I'm very, very passionate about mental health and, you know, a lot of research and everything. So I would want to work in US for a while, like only 1 or 2 years. Then I want to do my PhD because I want to go to grad school in clinical psychology. But I want to take a break for a year or something. Then, of course, inshallah, I will go to university again. Yes.
Oh my God. So basically, you love studying.
I love studying for sure.
पढ़ने का बहुत शौक है. Okay, Kainat. You said कि my family अभी तक Orangi Town में रहती है. They must be like, they must think that you are their like shining sitara. Right? They must be so proud of you.
Yes, they are. I think they work so hard for me, especially in my community where women are not given education very easily. Not very easily, like they are not given education.
Right.
It does not come very easily, right? So we really had to kind of like fetch our own wars to kind of like be where we are right now, you know. And I think that's why. So my parents are just still like, I think even the smallest accomplishment I get in the college, like they just like have teary eyes every time. Like it does not matter how small it is, how big it is. They're just always so emotional about it because they just still cannot believe, you know. They still cannot believe like that I'm here and I'm studying and my siblings are studying. My brother is actually doing child accountancy in Karachi right now, and my sister is actually, my youngest sister is actually completing her metric also next month too. So she'll be going to now pre-med college in Karachi, and I think that my
you have one brother, one sister.
Yes, I have 2 younger siblings. Yes,
3 younger siblings. So you are the second one.
I'm the first one. I have 2 younger siblings.
You're the first one. Yeah. Okay, fine. Then you have a brother. He's doing chartered accountancy.
And then I have a sister who actually went to TCF all the way from her 3rd grade, and now she's actually matriculating next month. And like she's in 10th grade.
TCF school that you went to in Orangi.
Yeah, we all 3 went to the same school in TCF. Yes.
And are you comfortable telling us what your parents do?
Yes, so my mother is a housewife, but my parents' story actually is very inspiring to me. So basically, in my family, because men and women do not get education, so my father really worked hard to complete his matric from like government school privately, and he used to work in the day, and then he did his inter like that too, because he was the only man in my family to even make it to inter, because we don't get education in our family. So my father really wanted to get education, but it was never a thing for anyone in the family, and also we couldn't afford it. So then my father just completed halfway like one inter diploma of like in Urdu from a government like college, and then he went to this like a small community homeopathic herbal college, like which was in Orangi town, and then he got his diploma from there for healthcare in homeopathic degree, and then he just opened his small clinic in the slum area. And there's the area that we live in now actually through that clinic we provide healthcare services to everyone in the community and everything. And actually like now my sister also wants to become a doctor, and she wants to join my father. So my father couldn't do a lot because he didn't have resources and everything. So I think he always had that thing that my kids will always be doctors and will always be like big thing, right? So when I was growing up, he would always say that, okay, so but then we didn't even know that how will I be doctor, because of
Yeah.
course like there was no education, nothing. And I think that's where TCF came into my life miraculously. So when I go to the TCF, I'll be like, okay, I'll be a doctor. But then I flew the country completely.
No, but
Yeah.
that आपके parents were like the एक आपकी लाइफ में कभी कभार एक मोटिवेशनल कोई होता है that you look at and you're like, oh, I want to be exactly like this, or you look at something and you're like, I never want this for my life.
Yes.
Look what your father did, and you looked at how your mother looked after the home and you guys, and you were like, I want this, but I know that he also wants more for me and
Yes.
better for me. How far was the TCF Orangi school from you? Like, would you walk to school? Was it something that was hard to get to?
Yeah. So also I want to mention that because even though my mom was a homemaker and everything, but when I was just before getting into TCF, my mom was also a dropout from from 8th or 7th grade when she got married to my father. So my mom also went to school, by the way. So my mom was like
Oh,
the oldest student in the government college. So she completed her matric too. And then she started like working in the clinic with my father just to like start community services. So she started working with contraception of women in that slum area because women's health was, so she doesn't know, but she thought, so there was a doctor, MBBS doctor, who used to come to our clinic to give workshops to women. And she saw my mom, that my mom is very like passionate about health and everything, even though my mom didn't know. So she started working with my mom and everything, and that's where my mom, so yes, even though my mom was a homemaker, I always had seen my parents not very educated, but they were very passionate about education. They wanted us to get education. Yeah, so there was a story about my parents. But yeah, for the TCF, yes. So that's why for TCF it was so before getting into TCF I was, okay, there's a story there.
okay,
So
but
growing up, I grew up in a slum area, of course, but I didn't know about TCF. I used to go to a government school, and my brother used to go to a government school. The education there was really bad. So we used to sit on the floor. We didn't have teachers and everything. We hardly have any education there. And I was in 8th grade, and my brother was in 6th grade there. And I used to be very hopeless. I used to be to my father that how will I become a doctor or anything if we study here, right? So by then my mom would like, because education for women was never a big thing, right? So we will just taking it very normally, even though my parents kind of had this thing that okay, you will be getting education, but we didn't even thought that okay, we will be getting so good education. It was just like okay, we will do matric, like like inter kar lenge, bas kuch kar lenge. It was like that. So then someone told my father that there's a school which is newly starting in an area which is like 20 minutes drive from here, and they could provide very quality education and very good education. I think you should enroll your kids to it. I think they talk more about you should enroll your son to it, because of course like
Mhm.
education was more for men.
Yeah.
And then of course I couldn't go that far away too, because it was you have to take a bus and everything and go 20 minutes and then walk a little bit more, right? So my father was like, okay, we will enroll our son into it. And then we went there for my brother's education there, his admission. So I remember when I was actually going there for the first time, I I just saw the whole like established TCF, and I saw this ground where female kids were playing badminton and everything.
Wow.
And I was like, holy, like where I am, like, you know, I just wanted to stay there. And then I talked to my mom. I said, I want to stay here. I want to study here. My mom was like, I think she has lost it. Like we came here for your, we came here for brother's admission.
Brother, and now you're saying I also want.
So then, what happened was that I really had to like convince her a lot, even while being there. And then we talked to the principal and everything. Yeah. And that's how it all happened. So even she was not taking me to 9th grade. I didn't do very good because I came from government school.
Right.
I could not really match with TCF kids. To be honest, TCF kids were really aspiring and they were very smart. Their curriculum was so good. So I had to repeat my 8th grade to be there. Right. And I think just seeing my inquisitivity and my passion, I think madam ne kaha like chalo usko le lete, like, you know, is bachche ko bahut zid kar rahi hai.
I love that she saw it.
Yes.
You know, I love that she saw that there is potential here to, you know, to take her to the next level. Yeah. I think that's where TCF also really shines, is that their faculty is so good. Mm-hmm. You know, obviously your teachers must have seen something amazing in you, which is why you are where you are, right?
I don't know, probably, but I think they were very kind that they just took me in TCF. I think they were very kind. It has changed my life completely, actually.
Just really quickly, tell me that why you're where you are today. If you had one reason to give somebody to donate, to put one child through school, what would that reason be?
I think it's a very good question.
If you could give one reason to anybody today who was just like, should I make a donation to TCF?
I think they should really think that education is the only tool that can make a lasting impact on which lasts on the generations, right? So when you think about education, right, when you think about donation, we only think about providing shelter and food and, you know, and all of that are amazing, alhamdulillah, like, you know, we need all of that. Yeah. But when you invest in education, you do not invest in an individual, you invest in that individual generation. Yeah. So for example, if I have reached here, my siblings have reached here, you know, growing up, none of my female cousins could go to school. My female cousins are in school now. You know, they see me as a role model, right? The generation that would be coming from me will not be a struggling generation. I would, because of me, like that blockage has been there. Now there will be no struggling generation from me, you know? Yeah. So I think that's why making a donation towards TCF or towards education is very important, because the generation that will be coming from me or coming from my brother or coming from my sister, they will be an inspiring generation. And I think that has been only possible because of education, right? When you provide someone with a tool of education, you just tell them that I have given you the best treasure. Yeah. Just go and unlock it and give it to other people. I think it's like a chain, and I think education is like that chain, and that's why I think we should all invest into education.
And I think that that effect that it has on other people, like I can't imagine Orangi Town. I used to go there for I used to go to Machar Colony in Orangi Town, dono ka TCF, and I can't imagine that the neighborhood in which you lived in, what impact it must have had you going to college, you going to university, you becoming who you're becoming. Mm-hmm. Like it had like a domino effect over there to be like, हम भी अपने बच्चों को स्कूल में डालेंगे, हम चाहते हैं कि उनकी जिंदगी बेहतर हो, हम चाहते हैं कि वो पढ़ें. And I think that what you were able to do, it has just been phenomenal.
Thank you. Thank you.
So where are you right now? Where are you right now in the US?
I'm actually in Washington State, so I am in the South Seattle.
Oh my God. Is it very cold?
No, it's actually right now the weather is better. It's getting more warmer and everything, so I'm happy now.
I'm happy now. have you been to Pakistan since you've been here or not
Yes.
really?
I go to Pakistan often. I stay connected with my family because my mom, oh my goodness, she's so emotional. If I don't go even for a year, she would kill me. She would legit kill me. So I try my best to visit her because, yeah. So I actually was there last winter. So I came in January.
Okay, so you came back in how long have you been in the US for?
I have been in US. It's almost 4 years actually because my degree I was doing my bachelor's. Yeah.
Right. So did you get a scholarship to come here
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah, complete. I have been studying on a full scholarship, like 100%.
So you are brilliant.
Thank you.
You parents actual shining star.
Thank you. You're kind. Thank you so much, Mariam.
I'm not kind, I'm being really honest. मुझे तो कभी कोई scholarship नहीं. Okay, Kala, मुझे बताओ, is there a memory from TCF that you remember, like just to be really fun? Just something that maybe your best memories from TCF as a school.
Yeah, I think the best memory would be just me catching up with my. So when I went to TCF, I think I was very behind into my curriculum and everything,
Yeah.
right? And I was very intimidated by so many kids there, right? Because they were doing such amazing thing, mashallah, and I really had to start from scratch, right? So I think the amount of support that TCF teachers poured into me, that was unbelievable. I think, like, I can even name my teachers. For example, my teacher, Miss Fatma, and like my Miss Shagufta Iqbal. Like, I remember my teacher, she left the school. She became principal of TCF now, Miss Sufia.
Wow.
And yes, and then Miss Iram, she also left and everything. But these people really, really believed in me when I actually had no belief in myself. And then I think they saw something in me, and I think one after a year, the results came out. I think I topped the whole school, even though I did not even have any like that kind of knowledge. But they, with because of their support, and I think that moment I just cannot forget ever. Like, I just cannot forget that moment, because when I was making it to top like students in TCF, right? And I would look around me and I would look at these kids and everything. And I think this TCF time was so amazing. For example, like I would sit with students whose father was chole bechne wale, whose mother was stitching clothes, whose mother was used to sell papad. And these are my classmates, they are my friends, and then most of them, not most of them, almost all of them went on to achieving greatest thing. My one of my best friends is actually doing architecture engineering in Karachi, and then whose mother used to stitch clothes. One of my other female friends, she is doing masters in Islamic in education in Karachi, right? And all of them went on to achieving so many things. And I think when I look back, I would look at these kids and I would look at myself and I would tell myself that what is going to be with our future. But then I would look at this faculty and these teachers, and I just knew that something will happen because we had such greatest teachers. I think that is the greatest memory.
This is not it for you.
Yeah.
There can be so much more for you.
Exactly.
And once again, it is because of donations, big donations, small donation, any kind of donation from people that make the kind of faculty that TCF has enough to pay them. It provides children like Kainat and her neighborhood the kind of school that is their right to have.
Exactly.
Right? Okay, so when are you going back to TCF to give a talk?
Actually, I was there in January. When I was there,
Really?
I always go to my TCF school because I can never forget that school. I have such an emotional attachment with that school. And one thing is also that whenever I go to Pakistan, I can collect all my students from my class. We were 16 students, and I still have my WhatsApp group with them.
Yeah.
And I still have a connection with my teachers, with my principal, And so one was the good thing was that when I was there last time, we had a student week, and all the students were kind of participating in everything. So I was there for award ceremony. So I was giving award ceremonies, and I gave a talk and everything, and it was just a surreal experience again. I think just seeing all these kids, and I just know that these kids who are sitting there, most of their life would look so different in next 6 years. Like it would look so different, but they just do not know about it right now. You know, they're just studying there and everything. But I was telling them that there are good days coming, and you will see that how much many of you just make it to such big universities and big tech companies and everything. And because I have witnessed this firsthand, you know, like in my classmates, like, you know, all of my classmates are doing so well,
Did you
mashallah.
ever
So
visit any other TCF schools, or was it just Orangi, or did you ever like go and see other TCF schools? Or
actually no, because I have visited some schools in Orangutan. So in Orangutan we have 2 or 3 schools, I think. So I have visited another one which is in a different area, which a little bit far away from us. I
yeah.
forgot the campus name, but because one of my other teachers, she was transferred to that school, and she asked me to visit. So I went there. And there is another, and actually TCF opened the school in the area that I shifted from. So the area that I was living in before, yes, that they opened the school there. So that one I also saw. So yeah, it was amazing.
I love it. I love it so. And the fact that TCF as a school was able to do this for you, and just listening to you talk, just listening to you talk about your journey and school and going off to college, and now you want to do your PhD. It was
Yeah,
possible because of people who've given to TCF.
exactly.
So guys, if you're on the fence about donating, if you're on the fence about, you know, is this zakat eligible, is my money going to make an impact, believe me, your money makes more impact than you would ever know. Kainat is an example standing right here in front of us. Kainat, I don't know if you can see the messages. There are people who are crying at work. I've
Oh
had to
yes.
hold myself back from crying a few times myself. Uh, but and it's all because of impact. You are an absolute inspiration. You're a shining star at TCF. And all the very best to you. Tell me something. Do you have any Eid plans?
Yes. Each plan is actually writing thesis. No, I'm kidding. But my thesis is due. Like I have my oral defense in next week and everything. So that has been just Ramadan. My whole Ramadan is
Yeah,
just studying.
yeah.
But I have been able to fast, alhamdulillah. And I got nice dress from Pakistan. And I'm looking forward to that. The good thing is that we are having a campus-wide Eid event. So we
Wow.
are having like a big dinner celebration in the campus with some music and cultural performances and everything. So it's been good. Finally, we are having a normal Eid, because when I
Yeah.
came here in 2019, we had a pandemic for 1.5 years,
Yes.
and then we had hybrid Eid, so we were not able to. So this is my first normal spring in US, like first
I,
normal spring in US.
for you, you deserve it. And you know,
Yes.
we all, um, there were like 240 people here a little while ago. I think we all want to see
Yeah.
um you in you with your friends on Eid.
Yes. I
So
think
much.
someone asked how did she apply for US scholarship? Did TCF help in that too? Should I reply to question?
Of course,
Okay.
of course.
So thank you, Aisha Tahir, for asking this question. I'm not a Instagrammer, so I don't know how to
It's
actually
okay.
talk.
It's
But so basically, yes. So in TCF, when I was there, TCF told me that there's a scholarship that send students from whole Pakistan. They shortlist student and they send to do high school in different countries, right? So I applied with other kids. So these kids were from Karachi Grammar School, Beacon House School, and very big schools, right?
right.
And then I and like some of my other classmates, we applied to that scholarship, and then we competed with those kids. So we had interview and everything, the whole process. And out of like, I think 1,000 of students, we were 80 students who were shortlisted to send to different countries. And I was the only one from TCF in that year. We have had some TCF kids before that too, who have been through that process. In that year, I was the only one. And then I was sent to Norway. So, and that scholarship was supported in another organization. The TCF told me about that.
So,
and then
you went to Norway first for high school, right?
Yes, exactly. After matric, when I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
And then after there, so I think, like वो कतरा कतरा करके समंदर बन जाता है. So when I went there, I completed my high school, alhamdulillah, and then that's where through that they send students to different like parts of the US.
Yeah.
And that is a whole program called David Scholar, and you have US universities visiting your school, and then you apply and everything, and then that from there it becomes easy. And then my scholarship is given to by my university, so everything is paid by my own university here. Yes.
Wow. So did you like living in Norway?
Oh my god, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was really good. I think in the beginning it was very difficult for imagine a girl who is coming from this small slum area, and then she just thrown into this European country with no background, right? So in the beginning it was very difficult for me to kind of, I had a cultural shock and everything. I did not talk to people for a month. I was silent for a month because I would miss my parents, and I would be really homesick. But then I think it was after that I had a blast. Like I had such great friends, and I was studying very well. And I think for the first time I just thought that, oh my goodness, my life is actually changing. Like a girl who grew up with so much hopelessness, thinking that I would not be even able to get a basic education, is actually getting education from the best universities or best colleges around the world. And I think that's why I was just so grateful to be there. And I think apart from that, it's a very peaceful country.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Beautiful.
Do you have any? I'll let you go after this. I know I've taken a lot of your time today, and I'm sure you have other things to do, like studying. And I want you to do really well in that. So we all are going to keep you in our duas. When you go back to where everything started, your neighborhood, seeing your dad's clinic, seeing your school, seeing other people over there, can you tell us what that feels like? Like just like, what are your feels when you go back? Is it just like, wow, I made it out? Or wow, I can't believe this is what I've come from? Like, just tell us, what do you feel when you go back?
I think sometimes I feel, okay, so there are so many things I feel at the same time, right? I feel happy that I'm seeing my family.
Yeah.
I'm interacting with my relatives again and everything. But I think there's always a sense of guilt, and a sense of like this happiness too. But I think there's always a sense of guilt, and I think there's a sense of embarrassment, not because what I'm doing,
I totally
but
understand.
it's the fact that I have been the only one that Allah gave me this opportunity, and I have made it this far. So many female cousins in my family like were forced marriage and everything, and most of them do not have a good life, right? So I interact with them and everything. I really try to just be grateful to Allah that, okay, Allah, I'm here, and how I can be the wasila for them to get education, to do well in their lives. But I think it's just always a sense of gratitude I always have when I meet them, right? I still interact with them. I try my best to like be the same kind as for them and everything. But I think they are just so proud of me. I think one of the biggest thing is that all these people who were so negative of me going abroad, all these people who call my parents out, all these people who probably did not really appreciate me, that I was very open-minded and I wanted to get education. I wanted to fight for it.
Probably because of your parents also. They probably
exactly
what
they didn't even like my parents either because of that.
They must have been like, what are you doing? Sending her off to school?
Yes, especially my mom. In Pakistani community, like mom faced the most backlash. Like it does not matter, even though both are the people who are making their decision, it's the mom who would be facing the most backlash. So I think my mom always faced so much backlash from people that, oh, you're making your daughter, no one will marry her. And I'm like, yeah, that's the point of not marrying into Pakistani like communities, like who are so bad to women. Like So I was like, that's the point. I don't want an abusive man. I want a good man
I
like
love
my
that.
father, you know. So so I think that is a small, like, you know, chutkale that me and my mom talks about.
I don't want you to go back and feel guilty.
Thank you.
I don't want you to go back and feel like you got lucky. It wasn't just luck. It was also the fact that you worked very hard.
Yes, thank you.
You know, your teachers worked very hard. You worked very hard. You got a chance, and you know, you took that chance, and you made. Look at the life you've made out of it.
Yes.
You didn't just take that chance, see whether they've worked out or it didn't work out. You put yourself out there, worked so hard. I think a lot of people don't realize, oh, look, you know, often लोग समझते हैं कि यार उसकी तो किस्मत ही ऐसी थी, उसकी luck कैसी थी. But it's not just luck. 100%. It's also luck. But it's also the fact that I worked really hard to get where I am.
Yes.
So, Kainat, you worked really hard to be where you are.
Thank you. Yes.
And you know what? Everybody else who has an opinion, who has, who, it doesn't matter. They didn't put you through school. They didn't put you through college. They didn't put you to school or high school. You worked 100% on it yourself with the help of amazing, amazing donors at TCF who believed in you, who believed in your ability, in your hard work, and in your courage. It's not easy to become an expat. It's not easy to leave everything that you knew was normal and you knew what was there, and then you suddenly decide, yeah, I'm going to leave all of this. I'm going to go and do this thing that I believe in.
Yes. And I think, Mariam, I agree with you, but I think it's always a thing, you know, that I always think that I'm so lucky to have parents who, okay, TCF came into my life, and but TCF only could do things because my parents were supportive, right?
Yeah.
But so many people, like, who have TCF or who have opportunities, but they don't have parent support, they do not have society support, right? But then there's always a greatest impact that after me, other my female cousins are going to schools, and I think they see me as role models. I think you are right that even though there's so much guilt and everything, but things are changing because of that, you know, and there's so much positivity is coming out of it. So I agree with you. Yes.
You never even see how one person or your act or something that you've done,
Yes.
maybe 10 years ago or 6-7 years ago, and you can see the effects of it 7 years later, 10 years later, and you're like, you don't even realize some of those things, and your story is going to live in TCF history.
Thank you.
Not the first time you're going to tell it. You're going to at your PhD dissertation, you're going to tell it when you go back. You're going to tell your story so many times because you are, my friend, an iconic person who really, really broke all barriers.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
You're going to tell your story. You're going to tell it many times afterwards. I cannot thank you enough for taking out time in your day, especially while fasting and especially while writing your dissertation. And Kainat, I hope you know that the 204 of us who are watching,
Yes.
anything you ever need, you reach out to TCF and we're always here for you.
Thank you so much.
Okay?
And it's just a great pleasure to meet you. You're such an amazing content creator. I love your content. I think I told you yesterday too. I'm so sad I didn't know about you. I don't know why. But
about you. And if you ever need us, we are 100% here for you. You just let us know, and we will never stop rooting for you. We're never going to stop. We're never going to stop using you as a champion. Okay, so you let us know what you need. Thank you so much for being on over here. Thank you so much for telling your story, for letting people know that TCF has made impact beyond belief. I mean, you won't even realize the kind of impact. I think people who 10 years ago supported your education probably don't even know how much they impacted your life. And we are
Yes.
hoping to do that for 350 kids at the end of this Ramzan. I absolutely know that we can do it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, and thank you to the whole audience. Thank you so much. It was wonderful just interacting with you through this chat, and thank you, Mariam. I hope you have a wonderful Eid and the rest of the Ramadan.
Lots of Eid pictures, and let's have a great time.
Thank you so much
For you, okay?
Thank you so much. Thank you, really appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Kainat, take care. Bye.
Allah Hafiz.
Oh my God, I have no words. I'm absolutely, and I have goosebumps at so many times. Rona bhi aa raha tha in between. Once again, the link to the donation for TCF is right here. I've pinned it on over here. It's the Mania's Urdu Moms comment. But there's a huge bunch of us who are doing this. Sorry, I'm just like lost of us. There's a huge bunch of us that are doing this fundraiser. You can go to the link in my bio and check it out. We are about, Sarah, if you can quickly check, I think we are about 25 kids away from hitting our goal. And it's been an unreal experience listening to what TCF does, their programs, their work, and the impact that the last 20 years, 30 years that they've been doing this has had in the lives of so many children, in the lives of so many families. These are the stories that we need to hear about. These are the stories that we need to talk about. And these are the organizations that we need to support. I think, you know, a lot of us sometimes don't know what to do. We feel very lost, but always look for the helpers. Always look for people who are helping, who are trying to make other people's lives better, who are still at it, who are still working. And TCF is one of those organizations that has, from day one, always been working, always been helping, always been trying to better. This is absolutely not the first time that we are going to be doing a fundraiser for them. We'll keep doing other things. We will keep doing we will keep bringing stories like this to you. Thank you so much for being here, for being so kind to Kainat, for being so for just bringing your whole heart to the conversation. I am going to log off. I'm absolutely going to save this live session. It's going to be on my feed. If you'd like to share it later with, you know, I want to show this live session to my children. I want to show them, and I'm going to pull up pictures of TCF Orangi, and I want to show them that this is where Kanat went to school, and this is where she is now. These stories are very important to tell at any given occasion, not just to children, but anybody else. Kinsey, I don't really know the answer to that, but I can definitely check and ask. As always, if you can share the link to our donation, that would be amazing. We have 25 more children that we are going to put through school, and our target for 350 children will be hit. This has been an amazing feat because it takes 144 kids, $144 to put one kid through school. So I think by the end of it, if my math isn't wrong, it's close to by $42,000, which is amazing to raise in a month. Thank you. I'm going to stop talking. Lots of love. Thank you, TCF USA, for the opportunity. To my incredible content creator friends who have been pushing every single moment that they can find, anything that they can do, everybody who shared the link. You guys are phenomenal, and together it's all about impact. It's all about what we can do with our heart, with our intention, our niyat, our zaban. $50,000. I knew my math was a bit off. And we did it. We're going to do it. So, all my love, thank you, and talk soon.